Good morning everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel Leaf Classes. I am Anjali. In the first video of the topic class as the basis of all computation, I just gave you a brief introduction of what is class, what is object and how we write the program in that, just the brief introduction. Now in this video actually we will be strictly following the ICSE syllabus and I will tell you different terms and how the programs are written using class as the basis of all computation or class as user defined. Now if we take class, the class is divided into two components, external wrapper and internal contents. External wrapper is the class and the class name which we write. When I will be doing the program, I will tell you the beginning of the program only we write class and the class name. And the internal contents contain access specifier, data members, member function, constructors and many more. But we will be focusing on these four only, and using these only we have to do the programs. So let's begin. We begin with the external wrapper, which includes class and the class name, and the body of the class is given in the braces after that. This class is a keyword or the reserved word which we have to write, which has a special meaning. So this is the declaration of the class name here you have to write. This is a user defined name and this shows that we are going to write a user class as user defined type. Let us see the example. Here I have written class, which is a keyword or the reserved word, and the class name. According to the question which is given, you can take the appropriate class name, and then within the pair of braces you will be writing all the internal components. Now suppose if you want to write a class name which contains more than one word, but since we know that in variable name or in identifier space is not allowed, so we can always write like this. If I write payment details, then underscore symbol I can put here, and you can separate two words with the help of underscore, and this will be written here like this. Now children, when you get these type of questions, normally the class name is given. If it is not mentioned for which objective the question is, according to that you can take the appropriate variable name. Now we begin with the internal contents, and first I have taken here access specifier. We have three access specifiers: public, private and protected. These access specifiers tells the visibility or the scope of the usage of the data members and the member functions. You must have noticed that before many function names public word is given. So public word or public access specifier tells the scope of visibility or scope of usage. Public means it is available to other classes outside the class where it is declared. Then we have private. Private means its availability or its visibility is only inside the class where it is declared. And protected means it is available to the class where it is declared, and plus it is used in inheritance. That means the subclasses of that also can use. Now by default, if we have not specified any access specifier anywhere, then by default it is taken as public. Say if you write any function name void add, then if I don't write any access specifier here, that means it is taken as public. Normally when we write the program, the data members or the member variables should be taken as private and the member functions are taken as public. But as per our ICSE syllabus, we are not going to go into detail into this. Everything what we will be doing is public only, and even if you don't write the access specifier, that is fine, because in any question you don't get that make it public, make it private. Only the thing which can be asked is name 3 kinds of access specifier, or specify the usage of the access specifier, public or private or protected. Only this much is there in your syllabus, so we are not going to go into detail. The next component of internal content is data members. These are the variables only. In Java we call them data members. In object-oriented programming concept, the main focus is on object, and we declare the attributes of these objects using data members. Now if we talk about data members, we have 2 data members, static data members and dynamic data members. Static data members are also known as class variables or copy variables, and for these the memory is allocated at the time of compilation. When we compile the program, the memory to static data members is allocated that time, and the syntax of this is static data type and the variable name. Here I have written the example. So this static keyword is used for writing, for declaring the static data members. Then you write the data type and then you write the variable name. These variables are written inside the class but outside the function body with the static keyword. And now we come to dynamic data members. These are also known as instance variables or fields of an object. Fields of an object. And here the memory is allocated at the time of runtime. Runtime, the memory is allocated to these data members, and in 99% of the programs we use dynamic memory allocation. In static variables, static data members, the memory is allocated at the time of compilation. That means the same memory will be used for all the objects. So when we use static, the memory is shared by all the objects and any updation will be take place in the same memory location. And here for different objects, the different set of memory is allocated. For one object, one set of memory is allocated. For second object, second set of memory is allocated. The syntax of this is, again you write data type and the variable name. Variable name, say int p. Here we don't use any static word, and for dynamic variables also they are declared inside the class but outside the function body. When we will be doing the program, it will be clear to you. And children, I wanted to tell you one more thing, that in exams you get the questions normally of creation of one object only. Very rarely we get the questions of creation of 2 or 3 objects. We may get these type of questions in section A, that create 2 objects for this particular class. Like that you can get the questions, but for programming only one object you have to create in most of the programs. The next internal component is member method. Member methods are also known as functions, and basically they are used for dealing with instance variables or data members. We can have parameterized or non-parameterized member methods, and we can have a number of member methods depending upon the question which you are doing as per your question paper. Children, when you do these class as user defined question in your exam, normally the function prototype is given in the question and for which purpose you are writing the function, that is also given very clearly in the question. So go as per the question and do write all one by one all the functions in your program, and very easily you will be able to write the programs using class as user defined type. And the fourth component of internal content is constructor. Constructor is also a member method which has the same name as your class name, and constructors are basically used for initializing the data members. Let us take one example. If I have taken a class, say student, and here I have written the data members as roll number and say string name, and here if I use a function with the same name, then this function is known as constructor. We will be doing a complete video on the topic constructor, but for the time being, when we are using class as user defined type, you should know what constructor is, and in your exam also when you get the question, the constructor you have to write. So the class name is same as function name, and here you just initialize the declared variables which are there in the program. So this is how you write the constructor, which has the same name as the class name, and it is used to initialize the data members. So today we have done the class internal and external components of the class, 4 internal components and class name as external components. So all these we will be using in writing the program. So let's start with the program. Let us start with the question. Write a program by using a class with the following specifications. The specifications of the class are always mentioned. Class name is prime, data members or the instance variables are given, and the member methods are given. So we will write the program for this class and the class name. Children, what it is known as external wrapper. So you don't have to go into the detail, but I am just telling you what we did just now, that which all terms are used where. So class and the class name, please don't change the case of the class name. If P is written in capital, please do write that P in capital. Then you have the data members or the instance variable. All these data members have to be written within the class body but outside the function body. Here in this case we have only one data member, so I have written here int n. Here the variable name is given, so we will take the same variable name. Then member methods. First is prime. If you see the class name and this member method name, they are same. So this is a constructor, and here it is written default constructor to initialize n. Default constructor means that you have to initialize the data members with the default values, and for int the default value is 0. So we will be writing the constructor like this, and here we write n equals to 0. That's it. This is your constructor. Okay. Then we write void input x. Now here void is there, that means the function will not return any value, and x it is taking as argument. Children, always when we write the function definition in parameter, you have to give the data type also. So here data type is not mentioned in the question, but you have to. And to assign n with x, what it is doing, you have to assign the value of x into n. So we are doing that. Then display function is there, again without any return type, to check whether the number is prime or not. So we will be using void display. Now here this n is the instance variable, so it is available to all the functions of the class. the data members which are written within the class but outside the function body are available to all the functions. And here we are not taking any argument, but here we will be checking whether the n number is prime or not. So here how we are going to check? You know that the prime number has only two factors, 1 and itself. So we will be counting the number of factors. You can refer to prime number video, check the playlist for that, the number programs playlist, and check for the prime program. So here I will take one variable c equals to 0 in which I will be counting how many factors are there. Then after that you take the loop for int I equals to 1, I less than equals to n, because the factors will start from 1 and it can go till n, and I plus plus, and here we will be doing if n mod I is equals to 0. N mod I equals to 0 means I is the factor of n. So anytime we are getting this condition as true, we are increasing the value of c, and after completion of this we will check if c is equals to 2, that means it has only two factors, 1 and that number itself. Then you print here System.out.println prime number, else we print not a prime number, not a prime number, and we close the function. Now after this we will close the class. Now children, see here one constructor and two functions are there. Here in the question it is not mentioned that you have to write the main function, so there is no need of writing main. Unless and until it is not specified, please don't write main. Suppose the question says write the main function to call the functions. So you have to write in that case, and then in that case you will be creating the object of the class prime and then calling the functions input and display one by one. So if it is written, then only you write the main function, otherwise there is no need of writing main function. Now one more thing here I wanted to tell you, that n is instance variable, but here in display function what we have taken, c and I, these two variables also we have taken, and these variables we have not declared here within the class. Where we have declared those variables? Within the function body, within the display function. So the variables which are declared within the function body are known as local variables, and their scope is limited within that function body. We cannot use this c or I outside this function body. So these are local variables, this is instance variable. The difference between local variable, class variable and instance variable should be clear. In your questions, you don't get the question where you have to write any class variable, that is static type. But instance variable always you will be doing in these type of programs, and local variables always. Till now you were doing all the programs where you were using only the local variables, that is main function you were writing and all the variables you are declaring within main. So here the variables which are declared within the function body are local variables. Inside the class are data members. If the static word is used, then these are class variables. If no static word is used, then these are the instance variable. I hope this program is clear to you. I hope all of you have understood all the components of a class and how we have to write the program. The difference between class variables, instance variables and local variables is clear to you. And these definitions I will be writing in the PDF. You can download the PDF. The link is given in the description box. And I hope all of you know what constructor is. The next video we will be releasing on Constructor, and after that we will be doing the programs based on constructors and class as user defined type. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you get notifications for all the videos and no important topic is missed by you. Keep practicing, keep doing the programs, keep working hard. God bless you.